Good morning, children. This morning session is dedicated to class 12, and we are doing the poem that is poem number 5, A Roadside Stand by Robert Frost. Well, you may ask the question, sir, what is the central idea of this poem, A Roadside Stand by Robert Frost? Well, this poem is deeply moving and is elaborating and highlighting the plight of the simple rural underfed folk who are often the victims of the promises made by the rich and prosperous people. So, this poem depicts the complex dynamics that influence the simple rural underfed folk, the people who are promising them to better their life often befool them and ruin their hope. So, these cunning people, the prosperous and privileged people, are responsible for the sad plight of these rural folk, and the poet cannot bear their sadness. So, he wants to sympathize with them, and that's the reason why he has written this poem. Today we shall be discussing only the paraphrasing or the summary and the central idea, the paraphrasing of the first and second stanza. Uh, Before going to the first stanza, let me read some of the lines which really makes us think. The little old house was out with the little new shed in front of the edge of the road where the traffic sped. A roadside stand that too pathetically played. It would not be fair to say for a doll of bread, but for some of the money the cash whose flow supports the flower of the cities from sinking and withering faint. The polished traffic passed with a mind ahead of if ever sighed a moment then out of sorts, and having the landscape marred with the artless paint of sign that N turned wrong and S turned wrong, offered for sale wild berries in wooden quarts, or crooked necked golden squash with silver warts, or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. You have the money, but you want to be mean. Why keep your money and go along? The last two lines are really very painful, and they depict the, harsh attitude of the privileged people. You have the money. The people living in the city have the money, but they are so mean that they are not ready to buy anything from the roadside stand and give them a support of cash. So the last two line really depicts the cruel and mean attitude of the city people who are not at all bothered about the condition, the pathetic condition of these rural folk. Actually, they make long promises or wild promises at the time of election, but when they win the election or when they come into power, they often forget that they have the responsibility to better the condition of these unprivileged people. Let me go through the paraphrasing of the first stanza. On the roadside, there is an old house with an extended shade. On the roadside, there is an old house with an extended shade, and the shade is to just towards the edge of the road. The owner has made this towards the edge of the road. Ask why? Because to draw the attention of the vehicles of the rich people passing by, speeding by. And so the fast moving vehicles or the vehicles speeding by may notice and stop there to buy the things sold in the sale. Look at that. Why has the owner of that said, that poor Paul, made this said towards the edge of the road? He has made this said towards the edge of the road just to draw the attention of the vehicles, the people who are passing in the gorgeous vehicles speeding by, that road, and they may see that shade where the things are being sold, and stop for a while to buy something from them, and that will be a source of hard cash for the poor, shade owner. And that is the reason why they have made it towards the edge of the road. The shade made a pitiable sight. It almost seemed that it was begging for food. Look at that. How pitiably the scenery. The the shade, you know, you know, induces a pitiable sight. Why it is induces a pitiable sight? It appears as if it was begging for food. It doesn't mean that it was just begging for food. It means that the shade has been looking so pathetic, and it is made so that the rich people who are passing by there may stop to buy something from that shop, and give a support to the owner. The things that are sold there may be purchased by the well-off people or the privileged people, and thus some cash can be collected. The poor feel that the money the rich spend on, see now, what do the poor feel? The poor feel that the money the rich spend to adorn their beautiful garden with flowers can be spent to better the condition of these underfed, privileged poor people. They believe that the rich people who spend a lot of money to decorate and adorn their gardens with flowers can be diverted to better the condition of these underfed poor folk, the rustic folk. But they are never caring about that. These people who are responsible for this pathetic condition of this rural folk, they never, this privileged class of the people, never pay attention to such poor people. And that is the reason why